friends? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. Today, we are taking a trip down memory lane, back to my favorite products of 2022. Do I still use these products? Are we still the best of friends, or have they been dethroned? We're about to get into it right now. Okay, party people, let's dive in. By the way, if you were not subscribed to me last year, this is the video that I'm going to be referencing. This was the best makeup of 2022. According to me, at least, these were my 2022 faves. So these are what we're going to be going through today. I will link that original video down below in case you want to take a look. But we're going to get started, guys, with my favorite foundations from 2022. And taking a look right here, it looks like I was obsessed with the Haus Labs foundation. And I have to be honest, guys, I still really like this foundation. This is actually what I'm wearing on my face today. It reminds me a lot of some of my other Holy Grail foundations, most notably the Pat McGrath. If you were looking for something very similar in finish to the Pat McGrath, but maybe a little bit more hydrating, this one is so good. It's a little bit difficult to find your shade, so I do recommend buying this one in store. But yes, I have been reaching for this one throughout the year. It's definitely, I want to say it's definitely like top 5 or 6 foundations, and I have a lot of foundations in my collection, so I don't feel like this one really has been dethroned yet this year. My other favorite from last year was the Clé de Peau Radiant Cream Foundation. I can't remember if this launched last year or maybe I just tried it last year. This is also one of my favorite foundations, and still I have been reaching for it this year. This is probably one of my most used foundations this year, particularly because not only is it an amazing formula, but it also is very travel friendly. So whenever I go on vacation or just, you know, in my everyday makeup bag, this fits in really easily. It's not made of glass, but the formula is incredibly luxurious. I would say this one I like even more than the Haus Labs. It's more expensive, of course, but guys, oh my gosh, it is worth it. This is probably like top 2, top 3 of my favorite foundations of all time. There are some foundations that I have tried this year that I like, but these two that I discovered last year, they are complete home runs. By the way, if you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Sophia and I love luxury beauty. I upload new videos just like this one every single week. I do a lot of new makeup reviews and fun and helpful guides. So if you love luxury beauty or you just need some help figuring out what is good and what isn't, then you're in the right place, my friend. Hit that subscribe button to join our fam because we would love to have you. And as a reminder, friends, any of the makeup that I mentioned in this video, whatever is on my face, or at least whatever makeup is still available, because a lot of these products are limited edition, I will be linking them in the description box down below. I do use affiliate links, so when you shop through my links, I do earn a small commission that goes towards supporting my channel. And with that, friends, let's get back to the rest of these 2022 favorites. Next up, friends, we have concealers, and my favorite concealer launch of 2022 by far was the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Concealer. I still really like this one. It is that good. I know it's not for everybody because it is super glowy, but if you're like me and you have dark circles, this does such a good job of camouflaging them. There are some concealers that I've tried this year that I've really enjoyed, probably equally to the Charlotte Tilbury, but I wouldn't say that this one has been dethroned from the glowy and blurring perspective. That's when I really go for this concealer. The other concealer that I really liked last year was the LYS Beauty Triple Fix Brightening Concealer. And while I do really like this one, I really haven't reached for it that much this year. And it's probably because this one is a little bit more of like a serum consistency. And I feel like I've been going more so, like I said, for kind of like the brightening ones. We've seen a lot more full coverage and matte makeup kind of coming into trend this year. And so, you know, sometimes I kind of gravitate towards those trends for better or for worse. And so I haven't really been reaching for this one. If I have been going for more of a serum consistency, I've really been enjoying the Clé de Peau concealer that comes in the Click Pen, and also the Chantecaille concealer that also comes in the Click Pen. They're very similar concealers, but those are the ones that I've been going for if I've been wanting something a little bit more lightweight, serum-y, and hydrating. Next up, we have bronzers, and my favorites from last year were the NARS Laguna Bronzing Cream and also the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Cream Bronzer. That one I use a little bit more for like a bronzer because it's a little bit more cool tone. And then the NARS Laguna Bronzing Cream, by the way, guys, that is the NARS cream bronzer. Last year, I was really into cream bronzers. It was the year of cream bronzers. I did a cream bronzer ranking, and my opinions about those bronzers and these that were my favorites video, they still stand. I still would say that these are my favorites when it comes to a cream formula, but I haven't been using these that much this year. And the only reason, guys, is because I've been into powder bronzers this year. I don't know what it is, but I've been really, really loving the powder formulas. I actually really like the talc-free powder bronzer that NARS launched this year. That was the one that I think I put that one at number 1 in my bronzer ranking. So I'll link that down below in case you want to check out the other bronzers that are in that video. But that one I think is probably the best, and they also have the most shades. So have these been dethroned? No, they haven't. It's just I've been using my powder formulas more often. For blush, I have 2 here. We have the Gucci blush in the shade Rosy Beige, and I also have right here the Suqqu Melting Powder Blush, specifically in the shade number 04 Sumiro, which actually is a pretty similar shade to Rosy Beige. You guys can see I really like those kind of rosy, neutral, slightly browny blushes. Have these been dethroned? I still really like these blushes. My opinion hasn't changed, but for the Gucci blush specifically, I feel like I've been reaching more so for my RMS blushes. I really like the shade Crystal Slipper. I really like the shade Maiden's Blush. They're all kind of in the same family once again, but the RMS ones are a little bit glowier. And I don't know, I've just been kind of enjoying that aesthetic this year. So I feel like I've been reaching for those a little bit more, but Rosy Beige is still a staple. And if anybody asks me like what's a really cute, luxurious blush that I can use for every day with great packaging, I totally would recommend the Rosy Beige from Gucci because they were discontinued. They were discontinued. We don't really know why. It's said on the Suqqu website that they were having a hard time sourcing the materials. I wonder if maybe they were just really expensive to produce. It seems like they are just no longer profitable or easy for the brand to make. I'm so sad that you guys can't get them anymore. So unfortunately, these, I don't reach for them as much because if you can't get them, I don't really show them that often on my channel, if that makes sense. It's like I'm talking about makeup, and sure, sometimes I do shop my stash, but if it's a product that you can never get anymore, that was limited edition or discontinued, I'm kind of less likely to do a tutorial with that kind of a product. We've got some good ones here for highlighter. The first one is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Multi-Glow Face and Eye Highlighter Palettes. This one also breaks my heart because these were limited edition. They shouldn't be limited edition. They should be permanent because they're so good. You have Romance Glow and you also have Dream Glow. I noticed that some people are selling them on, like eBay and Mercari, so you can still get them, and some of them are kind of slightly used. I loved these. The packaging was so cute, and also you kind of get like a 5-in-1 because you get the 4 stripes of highlighter, and then you also can kind of mix them all together. They are very, very glowy, but hey, if you like a glowy highlighter, these were going to be perfect for you. And they also, depending on where you could put your brush, could act as kind of like a glowy blush, almost like a powder version of the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand. So I'm sorry guys, you can't get that anymore. I still use them just for myself when I'm doing my makeup off camera, but hopefully me mentioning this in this video inspires you to go into your collection and use them if you did buy them last year. And then the other highlighter here was the Chanel Oversized Illuminating Face Powder. This was a part of the holiday collection, and this was in the Rose Aura color. So the beautiful rose gold. This is still, maybe other than the Camellia highlighter, my favorite luminizer from Chanel. I love the warmth that this gives me, but it's kind of got that rosy tone as well, so it works really well with my skin tone and the undertones in my skin. It is such a beautiful, smooth, delectable highlighter, and yes, I absolutely still use this one and the Camellia one, as I mentioned, to this day. It is just chef's kiss perfection. I feel like a lot of the highlighters that have launched this year, I haven't been that excited about. I feel like I like the ones from last year a lot more. I'll have to think about it. I have to let you guys know in my best of video which one I think was the best, but I was definitely a lot more excited with the colors, the tones, the formulations that came out in 2022. It is time for eyeshadow palettes. There are a couple here, so I'm gonna try and get through as many as I can. The first one was the Wayne Goss Luxury Eye Palette in Smoky Quartz. This is such a stunning palette, and it pains me to say that I think it was discontinued. I'm not sure. Did you guys see Wayne Goss is bringing back all of his brushes, all of his makeup. I don't know if he's going to be revamping it, guys. So I'm not quite sure if this specific palette is going to come back in stock or if he's going to sort of maybe revamp the format or the colors. I don't know. Please, Wayne, give us something similar to this. It's a pretty basic color story, but it is so chic and elegant. I know a lot of you guys really like this as well, but sadly, I have not seen it in stock. Also, right here, we have the Natasha Denona My Dream eyeshadow palette. That is actually what is on my eyes today. Just like a really simple, light, neutral eyeshadow look. You know what, guys? I thought that this was going to be my favorite Natasha Denona palette ever, and I still really like it. I still think it's probably the one that speaks to me the most out of all of her, you know, like neutral palettes. I Need a Nude, glam, retro, those types of palettes. I think this one is probably my favorite. But what I have noticed is that I tend to go to Natasha Denona when I want to have a little bit more fun with my makeup, when I want to feel like an artiste, as I like to say, when I want to use more colors and finishes, etc. And so I've been reaching more so for like the Love palette, the Sunset palette, the Yucca palette, even the Bronze palette I really like. I think that one is very unique. So I haven't really been reaching for this one quite as much because it kind of is the perfect neutral palette. And for those more simple neutral looks, I've just been reaching more so for like Dior, Tom Ford, Hermes, Chanel. I think you guys know what I mean. So I'm happy that I kind of rediscovered this palette today because I do want to get a little bit more use out of it. Ooh, we have another favorite from the Chanel holiday collection from last year. I really liked that collection last year. You guys know I love warm tones, and this one was the eyeshadow palette from that collection. Oh my goodness, I still like this. I still think this is one of my favorite Chanel eyeshadow quads ever. It was limited edition, so of course I don't get to use it quite as much because I'm constantly filming new things for my channel, and if you can't get it, I might not necessarily mention it. But man, I was thinking about this palette the other day. I really need to pull it out and do a beautiful toasty look with it. I still really like it. I don't think it's been dethroned. I still like this one better than the holiday one from this year, even though that one is gorgeous. This is just very much, it's just very me. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. If you subscribe to me, you know my makeup preferences. I also have right here the eyeshadow palette from the Guerlain holiday collection last year. This has not been dethroned at all. I can say with the utmost confidence, this is my favorite eyeshadow palette that Guerlain has done to date, at least from this new Ombres G line that they launched last year. I love the tones in this. I love that it's colorful, it's festive, it has some nice sparkle to it, but it's not too colorful where I kind of have to think, okay, how am I going to use this palette? What's the look I'm going to create? I can pick this up, create a really quick, beautiful holiday festive look and go. I can't wait to use this palette. I need to bring this home with me for Christmas or something like that and play around with it because this is still one of my favorite palettes, probably in my collection. I think it is such a stunning palette, and I'm sad that it was limited edition. I'm sorry I'm like, you know, drooling over this palette right now because you can't get it anymore, but hands down, I really, really still like that one. I also have right here the Danessa Myricks Mini Lightwork Volume 3, the Experience Eye and Face palette. This is another one that I really like, and you know what? I bought the bigger palette that Danessa Myricks launched last year, and I don't reach for it as much as I reach for this mini palette, and I was tempted to buy the new Danessa Myricks palettes this year, but once again, I just know myself, I'm not gonna reach for a really big mega palette. Danessa, come out with more mini palettes. Just design some little minis, even like a quad, a little 6-pan, something like that, something that fits in my everyday makeup bag, because I love to reach for this for a really cool kind of multi-dimensional one and done, or even some of the shades are great as toppers, a little pop in the inner corner. I still really like this one. I'll link it down below if I can find it. I feel like it's always out of stock because it's a little bit, you know, like an older palette at this point. She's come out with new ones, but yes, I still really, really like that one. And then the last one here that I want to share in this video is the Tom Ford Tiger Eye Quad. This is in the Creme formula. The Creme formula was launched, was it last year? Was it the beginning of last year? I think it was. I reviewed all 3 of the original palettes, and you guys, you might have seen my Tom Ford eyeshadow palette ranking. I'll link it down below if you want to see all of my Tom Ford eyeshadow palettes, or at least the 22 that I had at the time of me filming the video. This one came very, very high in the ranking. I will say though, I do really like the Forbidden Pink and the Velours Khaki from the Creme formula that I picked up this year. I'm trying to think about which one I like the most because they're all so different. But if you ask me about the Creme formula, I'm going to tell you about those three palettes. This is the one that's the easiest to get. If you want something that's very soft, easy, everyday, gives you that kind of beautiful bronze type of eye, a soft gold, this is the one that I would go for, because a lot of those other creme formula palettes are limited edition, unfortunately. Mascara. 2022 was a good year for me for mascara because I discovered two of my holy grails. Number one, the Cali Ray mascara, and number two, the Tower 28 mascara. They are both very, very similar. They're kind of like that tubing formula. They make your lashes very long and fluttery, but if you layer up 2 or 3 layers, you can get a lot of really good volume for them as well. Very, very good, long-lasting formulas. These have not been dethroned. I have not found another mascara this year. I think, at least off the top of my head, that I like better than these. I have rediscovered the Hourglass Unlocked Instant Extensions mascara. That is the one that is on my eyes today. That was actually the one that I was using nonstop before these two showed up. I would say they're all kind of similar, guys. I would say the Hourglass one has the most volumizing capabilities, and then these, the brushes, they're a little bit more precise and they kind of comb through the lashes. So if you like something that isn't going to have any clumps, is a little bit longer and flutterier, I would go with the Cali Ray or the Tower 28. But yeah, friends, hands down, these haven't been dethroned. They are still my top faves. And finally, friends, we have a couple of lip favorites from 2022. The first one being the Lisa Eldridge True Velvet Lip Color in Velvet Sorcery. Everybody wanted this shade. This shade sold out so quickly, and I do still really like this shade. I will say though, I feel like I've been reaching more so from the nudes, the brownie nudes that I picked up in the Guerlain Fall collection. This fall and winter, I don't tend to wear these shades as much in the summer. I'm going for more so maybe like pinks or kind of glosses, that kind of stuff. I feel like I've been going more so for the Guerlain ones, and not because they're better, but probably because I really just want to enjoy my Guerlain lipstick cases. I feel like a lot of times I have them displayed on my vanity. They look really beautiful, and then I forget to use them. So I've been on a mission to use my Guerlain lipsticks and the lipstick cases, because makeup goes bad, guys, and I want to enjoy them. So I've been kind of switching them out, popping them in my purse, and there's a lot of really go-to toasty browns and nudes that I've picked up from Guerlain this year. So I feel like while the Lisa Eldridge Velvet Sorcery hasn't necessarily been dethroned, I do have other shades in my collection that are pretty similar to that one. The next one here is actually one that I kind of forgot about. I feel bad about this because these are really good. These are the Rose Ink Satin Lip Color Refillable Hydrating Lipsticks. I need to pull these out because these are really good, and I feel like nobody talks about them anymore. These are delightful. I don't think that they are necessarily a satin formula. I would say they're more of like a hydrating cream formula because they do have nice pigmentation to them, but they aren't quite matte. They're very, very moisturizing, and the shades that come in this line are so neutral and beautiful. They're a neutral lover's dream. They've got neutral pinks, neutral browns, neutral mauves, like literally every basic color you would want they have in this collection. I feel like maybe the only reason I haven't been reaching for these quite as much is that I've been using a lot instead the other favorite that I have right here, which are the Merit Signature Lightweight lipsticks, and these come in more novel shades, I guess you could say, so I remember them more. I have a lot of nude and neutral lipsticks, so I tend to kind of just reach for whatever is closest, but when I'm actually thinking about the lip color that I want to create, I will go for something that is a little bit more unique. And with the Merit line, the ones that I really like are the ones that are colors that I don't really have in my collection. My favorite ones by far are Fashion, which is this really beautiful kind of berry fuchsia color. It is so gorgeous with a really plain neutral eyes, kind of like this bright, juicy, romantic lip. And then I also really like L'Avenue, which is the perfect fall and winter shade. It's kind of like a berry brown. It's so gorgeous, and I don't have anything quite like that in my collection. And similar to the Rose Ink ones, these are also kind of lightweight, hydrating, not super shiny. They're really good. They're all really good, but I haven't been using the Rose Ink ones quite as much. Also on here, I have the Fenty Beauty Poutsicle Hydrating Lip Stains. And my favorite shade of these is Berry Banger. It's kind of like the bright purpley shade. I still think in terms of lip stains, these have not been dethroned because I haven't found another lip stain that I like as much, because if you guys don't know, I really like these because they leave the stain. Yes, they are glossy, but I like the fact that they they leave a really strong stain that lasts all day. Some people hate that, but that's what I'm looking for. I tried the Rare Beauty lip stains and I didn't really like them. I know a lot of people like them. A lot of people told me that they liked them in the comments, but guys, they weren't my style. They're very beautiful lip products, but they just weren't my style. So yes, I still feel like the Fenty Beauty ones are my favorites as it comes to lip stains. And then the final one, guys, right here is the Dior Refillable Hydrating Shine Lipsticks. These, once again, I still really like, but I have to be honest with you guys, I don't reach for these as much as the YSL Rouge Volupté Shine and the Candy Glaze ones from YSL. And it could just be that I have found my favorite colors in the YSL. I like Orange Carousel and Burnt Zelige. Those are my two that I use. Those are the ones that I kind of constantly reach for. The Dior are also very beautiful, but I think I just like the texture, the little bit of extra shine that I get from the YSL. If you don't like fragrance or kind of like a fruity taste, then I definitely would recommend the Dior because I think that they are a little bit more subtle. Also, you get the pretty cases with the Dior, but I don't know, guys. I like the YSL ones a little bit better. I feel like those are kind of my go-to lipstick balms, and I'm still reaching for them in 2023. So there you have it, friends. Those were all of my favorites from 2022 and what I think of them right now. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel because I am going to be releasing the best makeup of 2023 and the worst makeup of 2023. So make sure you are subscribed for more fun just like this. If you like this video, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. Make sure you sound off in the comment section down below. Let me know, what have you guys been enjoying this year? Is there anything that you really liked last year that you're not really reaching for this year? And why is that? Let me know in the comments section. Subscribe if you haven't already. And with that, friends, I hope that you see some beauty in your day, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.